to win the Turkish Cup! In the final versus Trabzonspor, we defeat them 2-0 and we're gonna lift our second trophy this season. We got the Turkish Cup and we got the Turkish League as well. And Buyuku Fenerbahçe! Welcome once again to the channel. Today, we are going to continue our new Football Manager 2024 save, where I bring Fenerbahçe back to glory. In the last video, we brought them back to the Turkish title that they were missing for 11 years. Now, the objective is making Fenerbahçe the biggest club in Turkey by making them have more titles than Galatasaray. So, counting with the title that we won last season, we need to win 4 more Turkish league titles. Meanwhile, we want to go as far as possible into the Champions League as well. So my plan has been hiring a lot of young players with insane potential, most of them Turkish, so we can fit all the registration rules here in Turkey. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe, and remember to catch me live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick as well. Let's start the second season. As always, we have to start the season by reviewing our transfer market business. In the summer transfer window, we had some great businesses. We received Rodrigo Mora, which the deal was already done, and he's been playing really well for us in our second season. Of course, he's only 18, but he has 5-star potential, which is kinda crazy. Then we also brought Laurent from Flamengo for 16 million. He's also 19-year-old, but he wasn't getting a lot of playing time. But then he asked me, hey, coach, can I ask you something? Can I ask you to play a bit more? And I gave him the time, playing on the right wing as inverted winger, and he's been doing amazingly for us. I really like his pace, first touch and dribbling skills, and the 14 passing and 14 vision and 14 off the ball really help him out as well. He's going to be a star for our club. Then we also brought Konrad Ardar, an ex-Sporting player, and he's not been doing so well. He also has less time to play because we only have one striker position, so he's sharing the position with Mustafa all the way over there, but he's doing all right. He's strong, he's not super fast, but he reads well the spaces because he has 15 off the ball. He has 14 first touch, so he can actually control the ball very well within the box. He has 14 work rate as well, so he's been doing well. Of course, he's also only 20 years old, so he needs to develop a bit more. We also guaranteed Filip Kostic, because he was on a loan last season here at Fenerbahçe from Juventus, and we paid 7.75 million to have him on the club. Then we also brought Semal Demir from Besiktas for 115k because he's a young Turkish player with 3-star potential, and for the regulations of the Turkish league, we need some young Turkish players, we need Turkish players overall, so he can play for us in the championship, in the cup, while we rotating and refreshing our main players. He's not that bad, he's not great as well, but he can do the job. And then we also brought Kazmikan Karatas, which can play left back or right back. Actually not a bad player, 23 years old, right? 16 work rate is his best attribute together with his pace, but then 12 marking, 12 tackling, 11 passing only, so he's not great. He's now out on a loan, but he's also a player with good potential that we could use on both left back or right back position. And then the big signing of the season, Cenk Oshkakar. Let me know if I'm pronouncing this wrongly. I think I am. We brought him from Valencia for 39.5 million, and he's just the best player in the team. 16 marking, 14 tackling, 16 work rate, 14 pace, 14 acceleration. Not the best in the team, but one of the best. And for example, in comparison to our other great central back Suyunku, Cenk here has great decision and concentration, while Suyunku only has 11 and is already 30 years old. Cenk is 25, so he can develop at least 5 more years in the concentration and decisions attribute, which will make him even better. Overall, our summer transfer was amazing. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players that we are actually using, and 2 players for rotation. I think the 6 million for Kazmin Karatas was a bit too much, but it is what it is. Then we had to sell Alexander Djiku to Benfica for 7 million because we needed the foreign spots. And Djiku is really good, but the 9 pace is really bad. 13 passing and 13 vision was really good actually. 16 concentration, 17 bravery, 16 aggression. He was really good defensively. He was already 31-year-old, and the 9 pace was really hurting. Once we lost possession or once our press wasn't working, Jik wouldn't really be able to go all the way back and defend for us. Also, we sold Edin Dzeko, even though he scored a bunch of goals last season, but he's 39-year-old and we needed the foreign spot for our youngsters. We also sold Rodrigo Becão. He went to Al Thai for 9.25 million, and he was another experienced central back with not a lot of pace, no vision, 12 passing, but 16 marking, 16 tackling is really, really good. 15 heading, it was really, really tall. 15 jumping reach, 14 concentration and decisions. But we have decided to invest more in the future instead of keeping these very experienced central backs. After seeing the new players that came in and the players that came out, let's check how that is changed our tactics and our ways to approach the game. Here we have our tactic. It's the same from last season. We didn't change anything. We changed sometimes the roles of our wingers or our midfielders, but it's usually the same. These are the players that we usually use, and you might notice that we are not playing Frendrup. We are playing Dani Lorenzo in the middle instead because Frendrup got hurt 6 to 7 months after damaging his spine while lifting weights in the gym. So we had to use our sub midfielder that we brought last season, and he actually is performing really, really well. I was playing him as an advanced playmaker, but he prefers to play as a mezzala, which actually his pace and acceleration really help in that matter. So right now we are rocking this formation with Laurent, like I mentioned earlier over there, Mustafa up top doing a great job, and actually Mert is better than I realized, because according to our reports, Mert Mulder is 3 stars, and I thought he was less than that, so that's pretty nice. With the transfers and the tactics all known and discovered, let's start the season. Wish me luck. And the Super Cup final didn't went great. We lost 3-0 to Trabzonspor. And the main reason for that is because at the 33rd minute, Soyuncu saw the second yellow card and was expelled out of the match with a red card. Then we kept going strong, but at the 69th minute, a nice time to score, Trabzonspor comes through to the front of the scoreline through Trezeguet. At 76th minute, they would score the second one. Again, Trezeguet with a cross from Kouateng. And at the 90 plus 4 minutes, would concede an own goal to seal the deal in the favor of Trabzonspor. Our right back in that game, Zeki, actually ended up very bad rating because he allowed 2 goals to happen from his poor coverage at his own post, and then he made the own goal to be the last goal of the match. After the loss in the Super Cup, the most important match was the qualification for the Champions League, because even though we won the Turkish title, that does not qualify us directly to the Champions League, so we must play against Ludogorets to get our spot amongst the best teams in Europe and a chance to get some great money. In the first leg, we win 3-0 with goals of Kostic, Mbemba and Oshkan, and in the second leg, we win 2-1 with goals of Mustafa, Rodrigo Moura, and for Ludogorets, Anton, Nedialkov scored their goal. So that means we are qualified to the Champions League. Let's go! As always, getting Champions League football is amazing because we're gonna receive a lot of money and we increase our reputation, which then allow us to bring more players and better players with the bigger prize money that we are getting from the Champions League. So it's a win-win situation. And as you can see, until the end of January, our form in the league was amazing. We only got 1 loss to Sivasspor, we drew 1-1 to Adana, and then we lost 1-0 to Çaykur Rizespor. An amazing 5-0 destruction versus Besiktas with a goal from Kostic, 2 goals from Soyuncu, and 2 goals from Osterwolde. We also defeated Galatasaray 3-2 in a match that was really tough, and we started losing when Sinan Karvina and Derek Kohn scored 2 goals for Galatasaray, but then our own Mustafa, Dani Lorenzo, and in the end, Yusuf and Nesiri scored in the 90th minute. We also beat Trabzonspor 3-1, getting our revenge from the Super Cup with goals from Mustafa, two of them, and one for Emre Demir, and Ozan Tufan scored in the 8th minute for Trabzonspor. In the Champions League, we played AC Milan, which we beat 2-1. We also beat Newcastle 2-0. In the AC Milan game, Rafael Leão scored in the 44th minute, and then for us, Segis Under and Mustafa scored as well. Against Newcastle, it was Mustafa again, and Sven Botman scored an own goal at the 60th minute. Then we beat Young Boys 3-1. We win 1-0 versus Leipzig with a goal from Dani Lorenzo. We also beat Real Sociedad 1-0 with another goal from Mustafa. You can see he's scoring a lot of goals in the league and in the Champions League. Then we lost 3-0 to Rennes. I don't really understand how this happened. They were using this tactic, and already in my previous save at Sporting Club Braga, I would struggle a lot against this tactic. They got 3 goals, one at the 16th minute from Gomes, as they played really well through the middle. They got lucky, the ball went into the post and then went back to Gomes. They got the second goal very late into the match, a great pass into Gomes as well. 2-0 was made over here, and we missed a penalty by N Nesiri at the 94th minute, saved by Samba. Almost went in though. And at 95th minute, we would concede once again. Livakovic couldn't do anything over there. GG, we lose 3-0 on a match where we had more XG, but also because we had the penalty. We had less shots on target, less possession, less passes completed. We were just not good. And then, after losing to Rennes, we drew 0-0 to Rangers, and then we beat Bayern Munich 2-1 when we scored from Mustafa. João Palhinha scored a very weird own goal. We were building through the right, merged with a great incursion, and then Osterwolde makes the shot, it deflects, João tries to send it back to Neuer, and that's the own goal, really, really weird. And then at the 81st minute, after a defensive mistake, Musiala scores the goal for Bayern. So as you can see, we beat AC Milan, we beat Newcastle, we beat Bayern, but then we lose to Rennes and draw to Rangers. I think the easiest games besides Young Boys were the games where we performed the worst, but that means we got directly qualified to the Champions League round of 16. We're still waiting for our opponent. And in the Turkish Cup, we are going through with a very tough win in extra time versus Umraniyespor from the second Turkish league. We won 4-2 in extra time. And then we won 3-0 against Ankara Gucci. Very easy over there. The incredible run of form in the league meant that after 17 games, half of the season, we were in first with 48 points and a 42 goal difference. Besiktas was in second, 7 points behind us, and only with a 17 goal difference. And if you look, Galatasaray was in sixth with only 29 points. And like in the first season, Galatasaray, which was a team that I thought would be our strongest opponent, is just doing very poorly once again. And here, the last game that we played was against Galatasaray, and I've seen their team, and it's actually pretty bad. They don't have good players in their team. I don't know what happened, but they are not anymore a strong Turkish giant. But that means we are in a very good way to guarantee our second title, and this will be making the save way easier, because after getting the first title, the goal is now to get more titles than Galatasaray, and we need 4 more titles. So I think it will be easy if Galatasaray keeps being this weak, and we are investing, we are in Champions League, we're making more money, gaining reputation, we already have a whole bunch of young players that will go into the future, so I really think we can do this, and actually quicker than I expected. This season is going amazingly well. Let's see if we can reinforce the team in the winter transfer market. And the winter transfer window brought even more good players to our squad. Another great bet for the future, Franco Mastantuono from River Plate. He's already so good and is playing so well for us, developing at a very good pace, and he only cost us 9 million. Then we brought a great signing that I never heard about this player before. We found him in one of our recruitment focus, Yusuf Yasici, I think. Look at that. Yes, he's not 29 years old, but he has 13 pace still, 16 vision, 16 work rate, 16 leadership, 18 flair, 15 determination, 16 technique, 18 penalty taking, 15 passing, 14 long shots, 15 free kick taking, 18 first touch, 15 finishing, 16 dribbling, 16 crossing, 16 corners. Like, what an amazing player. We did spend a lot on him. It was mostly through installments, 22 million, but he's such a great player for us. And he already scored the goal from a free kick, and the banger outside of the box is already paying out. Then, a great upgrade to our defense from Rangers, Ridvan Yilmaz. Not only is a Turkish player, so great for the regulations, is only 24 years old, 15 pace, 16 acceleration, 14 crossing, 14 dribbling, 14 first touch, 13 marking, 15 passing, 12 tackling, 15 technique, 15 work rate, 15 flair, bro. Such a great player. We also paid 24.5 million, which was also through installments, but I think already paid all of that. Such a great improvement to our team. It's amazing. We have to sell Osterwolde because that means we have three left backs and we have no more foreign spots because we also brought João Veloso from Benfica, a future star in the midfield, because I wanted to have one ex-Sporting player on Conrad Harder, one export player in Rodrigo Mora, and now an ex-Benfica player in João Veloso. He's 20 years old, 14 pace. I really like that in the midfield, 16 vision, 14 passing. Still has to develop a bit more, but already 15 determination and 15 flair will help him grow even faster. The 14 passing is already very useful. Combining that with 16 vision, he's gonna be amazing. And also in the winter, we sold Enesiri to Fulham for 25 million euro because he was taking a spot of foreign players and he was getting paid a lot in the team. And I want to bet in Mustafa and Harder as our strikers because they are really young and they have a lot of potential. Also, this was a great finding. Emre Demir, he played really well for us in the midfield, but he still needs to develop a little bit. It was a great surprise. We had to use him because Frendrup was injured, Fred was suspended, so we had to play him, and then I started to play me more because he was doing really nicely. But then we brought João Veloso, actually started using Rodrigo Mora as a midfielder, so he kinda lacks space, and Frendrup is coming back from injury, so we loaned him out so he can play and develop more. The same for Karatas. He had no playing time, he's only 23, so we loaned him so he can play more and develop nicely. Also, we already have an agreed deal to sell Cengiz Under because although he played really well last season and this season, he doesn't want to renew his contract and he wants to leave the club for free when his contract ends. So we already agreed to sell him to PSV Eindhoven from Netherlands for around 7 million, which is not much, but it's better than zero. And that's all of our business in the winter transfer. After beating Galatasaray 3-2 away and after finishing the Champions League stage in a good fashion, we resumed the Turkish Championship with a dubious run of form. We got a draw to Adana 1-1, then a win to Antalyaspor 3-1, but then we lost to Çaykur Rizespor 1-0 away. Then we bounced back with a 3-0 win versus Sivasspor before going on an amazing run of wins, including a very important win versus Besiktas away 2-0. Our goals came from Yusuf Yassici at the 9th minute, great play from Laurent into the middle, and look at that strike, unbelievable. And at the 73rd minute, after a corner, Mastantuono in the box makes a great strike to finish the deal 2-0. Actually, we were kinda lucky. Besiktas had 5 shots on target where we only had 2. Besiktas also with way more XG with 1.7, we got 0.35. This is the type of games that if I was playing as Besiktas, I would be very mad at FEM saying that I got FEM'd, but this time around FEM was in our favor, we were more efficient and I take it. And after the win at Besiktas, we are in first, 10 points away from them. We have an insane 53 goal difference where they only have 17. We have 64 points, they have 54, and I think we'll become champions again this season. And our next important fixture was against Bayern Munich for the Champions League round of 16. First game is at their place, and they started winning at the 17th minute when Harry Kane took a penalty in their favor. We came back really quickly at the 33rd, After Mert through the right made a great progression, pass it to the middle and Laurent smashes it. But in the second half, Bayern Munich came hot into attack and João Palhinha got lucky and Coman was able to score from the leftovers. Then Mustafa with a great dribble, passes the ball to Lorenzo, Lorenzo to Sengi's great pass to Mustafa, and Mustafa makes the 2-2. We are hot. But as we're trying to go to the counter, Bayern catches ourselves in the counter and Sane with a great dribble and a great pass to Palhinha for the 3-2. In this game, we actually were lucky as well, because Bayern had 12 shots on target, an XG of 3.14. We had 3 shots on target and an XG of 1.31. It's true that Bayern had the penalty inflating the XG, but still, I think we were very inferior to them. Then it was time to receive them at our place, and at the 42nd minute, Mustafa to the left, Mora in the middle of the park makes a great shot into the post for the 1-0. Mastantuono with a great pass to Mustafa, Mustafa leading the attack back to Mastantuono, great cross into the middle and Cengiz Under for the 2-0. Afterwards, Kostic into Laurent, Laurent into the middle, now back to the right, makes a great dribble and a great goal, 3-0, unbelievable. But at the 81st minute from a corner, Bayern Munich would get lucky and score the 3-1 in their favor. Then another penalty for them, and now it was 3-2. We're forced to go into extra time, where Laurent, after a corner, lost the ball, but Zeki recovers it, Yassin takes an insane shot, and we are back on the lead. And Laurent again through the middle to Ismail, to Fred, Fred to Kostic, into the box, makes another goal. We are unstoppable. And it was not over yet, because Laurent once again driving the attack to Mustafa. Mustafa with a great pass to Frendrup. Frendrup to Kostic, and they will score again, and we demolished Bayern Munich 8-5 on aggregate. This match was insane. Both teams with similar XG. We got 2, they got 2.7, but they got the penalty as well. So we got way more XG if you think about it. Also, we got 1 more shot on target, more possession, and more passes completed. And that means that we are going through the Champions League quarterfinal. Defeating Bayern Munich is amazing. And not only we beat them the way we did, especially in the game at home, was insane. I'm so proud of the team, and I'm really happy with the project and the direction that our project is taking on. Let's go Fenerbahçe and Buyuku Fenerbahçe, where our opponent will be Barcelona, the historical club from Spain. Wish me luck. Against Barcelona, we had no chance. At their place, we lost 4-1, where the match was actually very close. They got 7 shots on target, we got 6. They got 2.65 XG, we got 1.57. They got way better pass completion percentage, and they had way more possession as well, but we ended up losing 4-1 with goals of Frankie de Jong, Rafinha, Vitor Roque, and Araujo. For us, Mustafa would make the late goal, giving us a tiny spark of hope. And in the second leg, we did win 2-0 with goals of Frendrup and Mastantuono, but it wasn't enough. We were eliminated from the quarterfinals of the Champions League by Barcelona, again in a very close match, same shots on target, bit more XG for us, but better passing and better possession for them as well. It's the end of our Champions League run, so let's get the Turkish League and the Turkish Cup once again. I think losing to Barcelona is not that bad. We went to the quarterfinals, we made a good amount of money, we boosted our reputation. Let me know what you think in the comments on below about our run in the Champions League this season. And until the end of the season, we had an amazing run of form. A lot of wins, only stopped by 2 losses versus Trabzonspor. One away for the league, where we lost 2-1. Another for the first leg of the Turkish Cup semi-final, where we also lost 2-1 away. It seems like Trabzonspor is growing to become our arch rival. But then at home, we beat them 3-0 for the second leg of the semi-final of the Turkish Cup, and in the final, we beat Galatasaray 4-0. The first goal came in from the corner, saying Oshkakar with a great movement in the air. Then we got the penalty, and Zimanski did not miss. The third one came from an offensive build-up play. Frendrup progressing really well, and himself takes the shot for an amazing 3-0 goal. And to close out the tab, Zimanski and Cengiz and Arder back to Frendrup, and he makes a great shot and gets deflected, and we win the Turkish Cup once again. It was an incredible match for us. We got 13 shots on target. Galatasaray only got 1. We got 2.84 XG. Galatasaray with 0.31. We had better pass completion and better possession as well. We just decimated them. So with all those amazing wins, it means we end up winning the Turkish league once again. This time around, we finished with 91 points, and in the first season we finished with 88, so we did even better than that. Trabzonspor, though, was a better second place than Besiktas last season. Besiktas with 74 points, Trabzonspor finished the second season with 79, and they did really well. They went from a 5th place to a 2nd place, so great progression. I think they are our new rivals, but we got a 77 goal difference. In the first season, only quote-unquote 59. We only conceded 17 goals, 3 to Trabzonspor and Adana, and we scored 94 goals. 10 against Sakaryaspor, for an example. 7 versus Galatasaray and Besiktas. That is really, really good. We lost 3 games, all the way to Trabzonspor, Shakur Rizespor, and Sivaspor. We drew to Adana 1-1, and we won 30 games. Now, let's see the stats. Most goals, of course, us. Most goals, it was us, Fenerbahçe, 94 goals. Trabzonspor scored 89. And there is a big difference between Samsunspor and Trabzonspor. 22 more goals for Trabzonspor. So I think me and Trabzonspor will be the strongest teams in Turkey. Oh, we also had fewest shots against, solid defensively. We had the most shots as well. Best pass completion is Trabzonspor. We came in 6th because we take a bit more risks. Most 63 possession for Trabzonspor. We came in 6th. Most dribbles made per game, Trabzonspor. We came in 2nd. They made so many dribbles. That's insane. Most tackles won. It's Pendikspor. Pendikspor. Interesting. Then fewest conceded us. Bro, we only conceded 17 games. 17 goals. We played 34 matches. We played in the first round of the league 17 games. We only conceded 17 goals. That's insane. That means we can take the ball and go home. Yeah. We got the trophy, bro. Livakovic in the defense, in the goal was also really, really good. Bro, only 17 goals conceded is insane. Most clean sheets as 21 clean sheets. Thank you for the follow. Kuwalafi, your support is greatly appreciated. Then, best players. Most goals. Erkan Kara, really? Nabil Alioui, Osman Tufan, Vaklak Yureka, Umut Nair, and then Harder. But Harder was sharing the spot with Mustafa. 22 goals for Erkan Kara, with 12 finishing. How the hell do... What? Nabil Alioui, okay, I thought it would say that on the biography. Well, he scored 16 goals in 33 games, 14 finishing. That's not bad at all. Then most assists, Benhur Kesser from Chiakur and Carlos Holsle for Samsunspor. So Samsunspor had the best goal scorer and had 2 players with the best number of assists. That's insane. That's insane. Then Trezeguet. We have Kostic with 9 over there. Then most player of the match, Trezeguet with 9. And Cengiz Under with 6. Most shots, Erkan Kara. 94 shots. Arder comes in second with 73. Samsun finds good players somehow. Yeah, they do. It's really interesting. Most key passes also Carlo Olse. That's so interesting. Joe Mario comes in second. And then Zimanki in third. Best pass completion, that's always the keepers. Most dribbles made, Ali Yavuz Kol. 25, is he good? 13 dribbling. How these players, bro? I don't get it. Yunus Akgun. Now that makes sense. 16 dribbling. Rafa only in 7th. Okay. Fewest considered, of course, is Liva. So, okay, Liva considered 16. Our other keeper considered 1. Alright. Most clean sheets, Liva. Best tackles won Benhun Keser, which also was one of the best strikers. No, best assists. Yeah, he had the most assists and the most tackles won. That's insane. But the goals per 90 minutes is harder. Shots per 90 minutes is Under, Arder, Laurent, and Osterwolde. Arder also with the most offsides, or the second most offsides. I think Lorenzo has the best expected set piece assist. Shots on target per 90 minutes is harder than Cengiz, and average rating Cengiz, Mert, and Osterwolde. Now let's see who were our best players this season. In terms of average rating, still Cengiz Under, then Yusuf Yasici, then Osterwolde, then Livakovic, then Kostic, and then Harder. How well Harder developed? He's good, 21. I thought he would develop more, to be honest, but that's alright. Zimanski, 7.12. Frendrup, Mert. Mastantuono on 7.11. Only 18. Incredible. Then Yazin Oshkan, our youngster left back, sub left back, with 7.11 average rating. Same for Fred Laurent. I think he played way better than that, no? He's so good, only 19 years old, really good. Senk Oshkakar, our new central back, strong. Ridvan Yilmaz came in as well, strong, 7.07. Daniel Lorenzo, he played most of the first part of the season because of the injury of Frendru, but then he kind of went to the bench. Already 15 passing and 15 vision and 14 pace. I love it. Mustafa, with 17 goals, he played, we can say, 2/3 of the season. The last third, it belonged to Harder. Bro, look at him. In terms of goals, Harder with 19 goals, so Harder had more goals than Mustafa. They kind of played the same matches. Bro, that's insane. We have two players almost with 20 goals, the two strikers. Sengis with 13, Kostic with 9. In terms of assists, Kostic 14 assists, Zimanski with 12, Dani with 11. So our midfielders are the ones that do the most assists, besides Kostic. He won't be homegrown, but he won't be foreign. Oh, really? Can you guarantee that? As I would like to hire him. Then Laurent with 9 assists and Sengis with 8 as well. And let's see the potential. Rodrigo Mora still developing. 6 goals, 6 assists. Still only 19 years old. Mastantuono, 7 goals, 2 assists, 7.11 average rating. Laurent, our most close to his potential, 6 goals, 9 assists. Harder, 3 stars right now, 19 goals, 1 assist. And Oshkakar, Mustafa, 17 goals, 1 assist, 4-star potential. And that's the end of our second season in bringing Fenerbahçe back to glory and making it the best football club in Turkey. We got the league title, the League Cup, the Super Cup, and we went to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I think it was an amazing season. We totally dominated in the league, and I think nobody came close to us. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe. Check the first season here on the channel as well, and check my other most recent Football Manager save where I try to become the new Portuguese giant with Sporting Clube Braga. Thank you for watching. I wish you the best. Catch me live as well, and I see you next time.